I'm just going to take my time with this live stream, as I do with all my videos, really. Take my time. I don't rush. I don't rush. I'm only going to come on live streams to do astrology updates. I want to keep that limited to that and not the the other uh, real me podcasts. I don't know. I just like to come on live streams every now and again to talk about things. It's okay. I mean, it's all on YouTube. It's not like I'm putting on a separate platform. So, regardless, this is where you get to see my face. It's quiet. The park is quiet. No one's here yet. I wonder when the park is going to be filling up. Pretty soon. They'll be coming. I set my food truck out. Pretty soon, everybody's going to be smelling the food truck and coming to my food truck and giving me business. So I'm just waiting for the business. I'm waiting for the customers. And while I'm waiting, I will just sit and relax. I'm not seeing anyone yet. Are you even seeing me? Are you even aware that I'm doing this, world? Hello, world. I'm doing this. I'm live now. So, yes. I am just sitting here on my bed, just waiting around. And so far, I see the numbers just stay still. Still. We shall see if they ever go up. Just at zero. Oh. All right. Well, feel free to comment. I'm always open to comments. And what always happens when I do live streams is that the cycle is I start, nobody's there, and then I get an influx of like a just a stream of comments, and then boom, nothing. It's really funny. That is just what happens when I do live streams. Anyway, I can't control that. I can't control the outside world. I disapprove of YouTube growth channels. It's like, just be authentic to who you are. Just do what you want to do. That's what I say. That's what I intend to do, and that's what I will always do, regardless of how many followers I have, regardless of however many tune into the videos. I will do what I want to do in the way that I want to do it when it comes to my channel. And I'm not going to be an astrologer who just looks at, like, okay, before I even get into anything that I want to discuss here, because there's a lot to discuss, is, and I may not get to all of it, I may have to break it up into several different live streams, I don't know. But here's the deal. If I get so advanced with my videos that I can edit things, and I can put charts in videos, like I can put a chart in a video, like a birth chart, or like a chart for like an event that you look at when it comes to analyzing the chart and the different planets and the aspects and all that. I am not going to say, like, let's analyze the chart. Mercury square this, and this is opposite that. All these aspects, all of these little things that mean absolutely almost nothing, really. I mean, less is more. Like, I am the kind of astrologer, if I become an astrologer, I'm the kind of person with astrology content that will focus on just a couple little things and go really deep into them. Or as opposed to just a lot of little things and going very shallow, because I find that way more interesting. I'm sorry if you'll be disappointed. I'm sorry I didn't get to all of it. Well, what would you rather? Just meaninglessness or deep, real discussion about certain things? And I just have to surrender to the fact that you cannot cover all of it. You can't cover all of it. You can't cover all the little aspects that there is. Excuse me, that there are. You can't do that because there's so many different things. So you have to be selective and be discerning. And when I do my astrology videos where I talk about, if I do a date called, this is a real personal one, August 10th, 1965. If I were to talk about August 10th, 1965, I would look at a couple different aspects from that and look at the natal chart of someone born August 10th, 1965, and discuss just a few little things as opposed to the whole, gamut of the whole uh you know uh chart. And that particular date, August 10th, 1965, is my dad's birthday. So now how his age. So anyway, what I wanted to get into, oh my goodness. Um, I want to see, I want to, I like to see some engagement. I will get to 1,000 subscribers, and I'll have to do a live stream celebration, a celebration of some kind. But so anyway, if I put a chart up, I'll just circle, like I'll have a marker and a circle over aspects. And I think that astrologers expect you to know all these things. But you know what all these meaning and all these aspects mean. Do us this jargon like perfection years and the eighth house cusp. I mean, I don't. And it's like I don't know the meaning of that. Like I can't keep track of that. I mean, I can because I just know enough, but a lot of people can't, and a lot of people are not educated enough in astrology to know that. But they're interested, but they're not the most knowledgeable in that kind of respect. So I think that just making the chart clearer and easier to read. And when you see my videos, I do not use the astrology jargon. I mean, I don't explain every little sign and every little aspect or whatever little thing means, but I don't use astrology jargon. I mean, I do speak the language of astrology, but I I think that my content is very, very Mercury and Taurus, very simple to understand, very, very, making it deliberate, making it, very concrete, digestible pieces. Like I don't just, if I speak a lot and fast, then I think that you can just naturally keep up with it because of the pace that I communicate. So today I'm talking about the current astrology, and the videos for the week of May 24th. The astrology videos for that week, the collective reading and the 12th sign will be late because I have something that has come up with my health yet again. Going to Mayo for another very, very, I'm not going to get into it here, but a very, very unpleasant and graphically nerve-wracking test of which I am dreading, dealing with health. So we will see how that goes. Hopefully it's not too, you know, drastic and too nerve-wracking. I think that'll be fine considering all the, hell that I've been through. Um last end of December to mid-January. But anyway, I'm doing all this now so that I cover as much. And by the way, tune in for the shorts. Do I even have the chat on? Tune in for the shorts on my channel that come out every single day, where I talk about the aspects of the day and the different astrological transits of each and every single day. I've started it mid this month. I'm going to always continue them much quicker than doing the clips that are not available on YouTube to do anymore. So I'll continue doing the uh, shorts at the beginning of it each and every month. And I'll just keep up doing that. So those will come out every day. I'm a very, very reliable person. most of the time I am reliable, I am consistent, I am sticking to it, I am disciplined, I am not leaving this channel anytime soon. I do not believe in leaving your channel like empty. I believe in maybe reducing down the quantity of videos that you produce and how often you post, but I'm going to always be updating it. Pretty much, and this is going to be extreme, but most of my life, all my life, I don't know, we'll see. But this is what I believe. I am in it. I am committed to it. I'm committed to this. This is my pride and joy. This is my passion. So here I am doing this. So occasionally I will come on every once in a while to do live streams, but most of it will be podcast episodes and all that. And by the way, I'm up to 100 episodes in my Cosmic Sky podcast. If you want to check out the latest one that came out today, which is an aspect exact in my natal birth chart, Sun sextile Lilith, you can check that out in that episode today. But I'm at 100 episodes, technically a little bit less, technically like 97, 96, because a couple of those videos were like update videos. But oh, anyway, I'll just leave those in there. I'm honoring what was, and I'm sick of getting rid of stuff. I'm sick of deleting stuff. So anyway, delving in to this time and this experience of where we are now, we are leaving Taurus season behind. Oh, I feel so sad. This has been a good season for me. It's been really, really comfortable. Um, and so I think that if you see my videos, I think that it's no secret that I'm a Taurus North Node, and I really, you know, value that particular sign and its energy and the lessons that are associated with the sign. And, you know, um, that, Taurus is an energy of values. And so if you're leaning into that, then that's really, really what it's all about. But so anyway, we're changing energies now. Today is May 18th. A happy birthday to Tina Fey, whose nodal return is, I think, January this year or December last year. And I think it was more like March, February, January, somewhere around there was her nodal. I don't know. The nodes are inconsistent when it comes to how long they stay on the different degrees. So you can make a lesson plan. Like for example, I looked when the North Node enters Aquarius next this summer. It will be at 29 degrees for a long, 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 long time. It will sit there at 29 degrees for a long time. Like the North Node was at 27 degrees of Pisces, for example. Back in March, it was there for a long time. So they're inconsistent. The nodes are in the different signs for inconsistent lengths of time. Side note, Venus retrograde happens again this fall, and let us hope that that will be a harmonious time where if you buy what you want to buy, it doesn't fall apart to pieces when you get it. Because Venus retrograde can really, I had a dream about it last night. I had a dream that I was planning on making the video for it, but I may have missed the window to make the video for it, and it was already started by the time I did that. Like, I will do it. Basically, I'll include the shadow period, but I'll do it, the week before it happens. But let's hope the things I buy during that period will not crumble and will not, and so hopefully that it will be good. And I'm not really looking too much forward to the fall. I'm enjoying the spring of this year. I want to stay in spring for a long, long time. I'm not really, there's not a whole lot that I'm looking forward to in the fall. I'm glad with life and how it is right now, and I want it to remain that way. And so the fall is in the horizon, but I don't want to completely be a transformed person with all that I'm doing now in the fall. And I doubt that I will be. So, anyway, right here, right now, Gemini season. Gemini season 2026. There's a lot going on at the beginning of it. I'm just going to tell you that right now. Beginning half is busy. The full moon in Blue Moon in Sagittarius, May 31st. I'll do separate videos about that, which I will do the collective video May 27th. Assuming that something is going on that day with a family thing. So hopefully I'll get around to doing that video that day. And then the 28th, I'll do the 12 signs for that because, wait a second. No, wait. Okay, no. 28th, the 28th and the 29th, excuse me. Okay. The 28th and the 29th, I'm doing the full moon in Sagittarius videos for that upcoming week. It does happen in the beginning of the week. I'm doing kind of short notice, but anyway. But there's a little bit of a ways going. This Gemini season, mid-June, we do have the new moon in Gemini, June 14th. And I'm going to be doing videos about Chiron changing signs. It hasn't changed since 2018. It has been in Aries since 2018. And on the 19th of June, it changes signs into Taurus. And I'll be discussing that with wounds around security, wounds around being allowed to enjoy the sensual experience of embodiment of life, wounds around feeling a sense of self-worth about ourselves, feeling a sense that we can come to our earth and our bodies and our own physical vessels. I want to discuss that in depth, when we get there, because that is so incredibly important, because that's the nodal return of when, Chiron was discovered back in 1977. So anyway, Gemini season. What is Gemini season about? Well, it is about what's about? What it's about? What is it about? It is. And here's something interesting. When the sun is in a certain sign, guess what? The earth is 180 degrees opposite. So the earth is in Sagittarius, the sun is in Gemini. I took that from, I have to give credit to Owning Authenticity. A shout out to the channel Owning Authenticity, which I hope she comes back because her videos were so good, so insightful. And I really picked up a lot from her and how she presented herself in her own way. Anyway, don't need to go on a whole thing about that. But anyway, okay. So what we are being evolved into. So the Earth is in Sagittarius. And the Sun and the North Node are very, very similar. The thing with Gemini energy that I want to talk about here is specifically in a North Node context. We are learning to break free this season, this whole season of Gemini season. We are learning to break free of our cage. Gemini and Sagittarius are both about the freedom to learn, the freedom to explore, but in different ways. Gemini is so detailed in data and about the small community, about the little details. Sagittarius, big picture, more philosophical, more about the spiritual quest, more about the bigger, broader look on it. Sagittarius is the message behind what is said, and Gemini is like every little detail and every little speck on that thing and every little, little dot, what makes it unique, and all the little pieces and fragments. Like Gemini is all the fragments of a certain thing. It's, looks at everything very, very fragmented, looks at all the little facets of something, all the different sides of something, and then we put it together into a whole in Sagittarius. Therefore, the low end of Sagittarius, we're so caught up in just a simple little whole and not looking at those little details. So, Gemini is about freedom. It is first. Really? I'm just getting 2 views on this. Are you turned off by what I'm saying? I hope that you're not. I mean, in my perspective, I'm pretty grounded in my communication or whatever. I mean, when I come on a video, my intention is not to turn anyone off or to sound arrogant or whatever. It's just who I am, and I'm going to embrace that. So, I'm not trying to put on any airs. I'm not trying to be anyone that I'm not. It just is who I am, and that's, who I am. Um, so, um, Gemini is about, it's very, very different than Taurus because, well, first of all, it's a mutable sign, but Taurus is a sign that is much about values. What is the most important to me in my life that I am holding on to? What is the most valuable thing that is so weighty and so important and so worth keeping? Gemini says, stop being so fixed. Values. Why don't you just be open-minded? Why don't you just be curious and spontaneous? Gemini is not about values. It's very, very different because Gemini is mutable, it's changeable, it's adaptable. And so this energy, probably gonna, when the sun enters Gemini, you're probably gonna feel a shift like, oh wow, I'm feeling more curious now. So with Gemini energy, you want to break free of all those fixed things like Tauruses, and you're very, very stubborn, you're very, very earthbound. Gemini, you're up in the head. And the most adaptable, and almost, it can be this restless energy. See my hand? See my hand? Restless. It's restless. Gemini is so incredibly restless. See the placements of my placements behind me. See my placements behind me. My sun, moon, and rising is listed right there. That, by the way, is the wrong glyph. That's Leo. That should be Sagittarius for the ascendant sign. But see, my mom did this for me. My sun in Aries, moon in Libra, rising in Sagittarius. Sun, moon, rising. See? So, I thought I might show you that. Anyway, Gemini wants freedom. It doesn't want to be bound to things. It wants to be spontaneous. And when you're spontaneous, you don't do things without an earthy plan. You don't do things with a promise. Gemini is like the freedom to change your mind, the freedom to contradict yourself. Like, I changed my mind. It's okay. Now, worse, you don't have any integrity, and you're not, having real weight to your words like Taurus does. And that's the evolution of Gemini, like being more committed and being more intentional with its words. Because Taurus, I'm Mercury in Taurus, I'm very, very intentional about what I say. And, Taurus is very, very intentional, purposeful, deliberate sign with its actions headed towards it. But Gemini couldn't be more not fixed. It is the most mutable sign, and it is the most liberated sign. And do not tell a Gemini that it cannot learn what it wants to learn, because it will get out of that. Don't tell a Gemini that it cannot be free to read the books that it wants, to talk to the people that it wants, to have the relationship that it wants, because it wants freedom to be able to do all that stuff. Okay? It needs freedom. And that's what it's all about. So, in Gemini energy, we are free to explore all the facets of things. We are free to open up our minds. We are free to be curious. We are free to read. We are free to communicate. We are free to do all this stuff. Now, also, what's going on is that we have Mercury changing a sign, Venus changing sign, Mars changes signs today. Okay. Let's talk about Mercury first of all. Mercury is in Gemini. Mercury in Gemini rarely says the same thing twice. It is so intelligent. It is so mercurial. It is so smart. It has a quick wit. Very, very open to ideas and thinking and learning. It is so spontaneous. Everything that you love about a Gemini right there. So that's what the one energy that we're dealing with. And the other energy is Venus in Cancer. Venus in Cancer, well, home, family, relationships. I discussed this with Venus in Cancer on that short that's going to come out sometime very, very soon. And I'm going to repeat it here. I'm going to hear it again on that short if you were to watch that. But Venus in Cancer, do I even have the chat on here? Is the chat even on, or is nobody commenting? Venus in Cancer looks at nurturing yourself, showing that you value yourself by giving yourself the time and the space and the care to nourish yourself as you are. To nourish yourself, to take care of yourself, to feed yourself on an emotional level. The thing I discussed with Venus in Cancer in that video was that Venus in Cancer is very, very private. Very, very private. You know, for those who are listening, I'm so glad that you're listening to this, and you're so glad you're tuning into me listening to this. And I think that that little person there shows me that there's a couple of people watching. So that's good. Well, anyone is better than no one, right? So Venus in Cancer, really, really private. That's what Venus is. Venus in Cancer. Cancer basically has a non-negotiable rule that they will treat everyone that is in their life like family, and they will prioritize their family, and the family individuals are most important to a Cancer, that they are worth their time and energy more than anyone else. That's the thing to remember about Cancer. Okay. So Venus in Cancer focuses on privacy, focuses on nurturing those in your close circle. It's about the private life. The moon, internal. Cancer is a very, very private sign. Sun's in Taurus, moon's in Cancer. That's really, really about coming home to yourself and nurturing your body, nurturing your emotions. And today's a Monday, and today is Moon Day. It's a quiet, more internal day. I go to work tomorrow, of which I'll be meeting the person that I talked about on the podcast disliking someone's social media presence. And I'm hoping that he will not get on me for the videos I posted about him. We'll have to see how that works out. And I will respond in my power in a sovereign, authentic way if anything should go. And I'm not taking anything down because it's my channel. And, you know, quoting that very person that I described earlier, the person on YouTube that I used to follow, it's my sandbox and we play by my rules. So I'm not taking those videos down for anyone. So They were perfectly good videos. I had a lot to say, and there was nothing wrong with either of those videos. So forget about that. You should take down the videos of you cursing and being all this way. If you're telling me, then look yourself in the mirror and take those videos down. My goodness, my goodness. So yeah, you know, facing the facts of that is huge. Now, Venus in Cancer looks at coming home to your emotional world, your internal, most private emotional world, your body, nurturing your inner temple, which is your body is your vessel to get through this life at a spiritual level. Your body is your temple. It is your you come home to in the body. When we're in our bodies, we come home to our bodies. Like, do you feel at home inside your body? I mean, I'm asking you, do you feel at home inside your own skin? And if you don't, then Venus in Cancer is a time where you can really, really focusing on nurturing that and nurturing those in your close circle. Not going to your friends or your coworkers or whatever. This is time to focus on those in your family. So that's the focus of this time. Then the last one is Mars in Taurus, and I discussed that on those videos which you can check out on the podcast. Um, the collective and then the 12th sign to knowing what it means for your 12 signs. Um, and so I discussed what that means for each of the different signs. If you want to find out how you'll be impacted, how you'll really be impacted, not just, oh, it'll be in your sixth house. So that means that I'm going to be more motivated to become more healthy and be more fed. And, it's like, no. It's like, not everyone will relate to that. So you can't go that route. So, Mars and Taurus. Mars and Taurus is considered at its detriment. And okay, nuance to this, nuance. The reason why is because Mars gets stuck in the weeds easily in Taurus because it struggles to move forward, it struggles to move up, it struggles to push forward and get itself going because it's so lazy, it's so consumed with the you know food, smells, environment that it's already in, so fixed with the environment that it's already in that it's um you know hard to get out of that. However, the more positive expression of Mars and Taurus that I want to discuss here, kind of giving you a little teaser to that video. If you want a more in depth look, go to that 30-minute video. It's half an hour long. You can watch it. It's one of my shorter astrology updates. And it is Mars and Taurus is really very steady. It stays the course. It is fixed. It is stubborn. Stubborn doesn't have to be a bad thing. Stubborn means that you have the will to stick it out, stick it to it. Taurus is a stick it to itness. And Mars and Taurus can commit and get to the end of that goalpost. It's like the tortoise and the hare. And this is the tortoise. What happened to the hare? He's way behind because he ran so fast that he burned himself out. But the Taurus conserved its energy. The tortoise, what? Taurus. That's so funny. Taurus. So, so tortoise. The tortoise went slow and steady, and so now what can happen is, um, you know, he has the energy to remain throughout that race, and the hare gave up, and then the tortoise is just going along, and then he wins, or maybe just runs, to the end of the race because he stuck it to it. He was willing to be patient, and he was willing to stick it out, and willing to commit fully to that, and willing to take the time to do it. Taurus is not a rushing energy. It's like Taurus is, willing to take all the time in the world because it understands that things take time, and it's a journey, not a destination. Like, that's also something that I discussed in that video. Like, to get from point A to point B, it takes time. It takes you actually taking the time to get there and being willing to go from one point to another. Like, in order to get from your house to the top of the hill, you can't just snap your fingers and get there. You have to get up, get your shoes on, get your clothes on, and walk or run or take a hike or, whatever, or take a car, whatever, over to that hill. Like, it's a journey, and Taurus represents the earthy embodied experience of the journey from one point to another. That's something that Taurus represents as an energy. So, Mars in Taurus is very much about the slow and steady process of getting to one point after another. And that's what you need to remember about Mars in Taurus. Now, Mercury, I think that it already was conjunct Uranus already, and that's like sudden bursts of sudden flashes of insight and sudden flashes of ideas. And Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury, so Mercury and Uranus, and they're in Gemini, so this means that you have sudden jolts of ideas that you just came out of nowhere, like sudden flashes of insight that just were downloads that you didn't, that you got out of nowhere. You suddenly have these realizations like, wow, I gotta change this. I gotta revolutionize this. I gotta think in a more higher, more advanced, more futuristic, more 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 progressive way, as opposed to the stuck ways that I've been thinking in the everyday. Like, Mercury and Uranus coming together gets you out of the everyday thinking and gets you into something more higher echelon, more upper level, more higher up in the charts. So Mercury Uranus is really about, thinking in those more advanced terms, and it is about new flashes of ideas. And like, you were going along, walking on a certain path, and all of a sudden you got this insight, like, and then I got to go on a whole other path. I got to change a whole other path. So, but anyway, Sun conjunct Uranus is a time where you're probably going to be feeling more rebellious. The Sun and Uranus coming together in Gemini. It's one of the aspects that you'll find coming out on this channel. A short Sun conjunct Uranus is the flash of insight to change directions in the way that brings it to your conscious awareness, which is your Sun sign. And so the Sun in the Sun conjunct Uranus is basically, you're not tolerating BS. You're not tolerating BS. You are going along your own path. You're going along your own path. And you are doing your own thing regardless. You're breaking free. And something that you resisted, that you need to change, that you need to revolutionize in your life, a truth. Like, I need to stop with this business. I need to stop with this cupcake business and actually do a biscuit business, because biscuits have a greater volume. Biscuits are cheaper. Biscuits are easier to, I don't know. But, but just as just a random example, it's like with the Sun conjunct Uranus, it's like this insight that you get where you're like, I gotta break free of this limiting pattern in my life, and I gotta do something different. How about I just do something different and just do it? Do it. So that's really what it's all about, is doing it. Didn't make the noise, but I showed the I can only do so much, okay? I'm human. I yawn. So, And I try not to make the sound in videos because it's kind of rude. But you hear my breath because I'm human. I yawn. So if I'm doing a video in the evening, that may come out, and it's more likely that I'll burp because I've been burping a lot more regularly now. So you know, um, so that may happen more often in the evenings if I ever do really podcast episodes or whatever. And yeah, so I conjunct Uranus. Uranus is the Great Awakener. It wants to get you out of your stuck and stagnant ways of being to move into something more liberated, more free, so that you can move into a place of peace and a place of wholeness and really move on the path of your highest potential so that you can be one step closer and one step closer and another step closer and then another step closer to who you truly are. That's Uranus. And it does this by an astrologer that I follow, Christopher Winston, had a metaphor of like you are an ant and you are the hand that is freeing this ant out of this door in this threshold that is going out into this world freely. Like Uranus wants to liberate you, but it can feel scary. It can feel so overwhelming. It can feel so jarring, if that's the word for it. It can feel like like the tides are going to take you down, like there's this force that's greater than you that is forcing you, and if you don't change, Uranus is going to come along and it's going to force you to change by shaking up circumstances and making change happen so that you're forced to let go some things and change for the better. So that's what Uranus wants. Like Uranus is deeply caring, deeply loving, and the universe is wise and loving in that way. So Uranus is that hand that feels like so overwhelming and so scary. Yet, what it's here to do is it's here to lift you whether you like it or not, because Uranus is like, with Uranus energy, here's what it is: it's what you need as opposed to what you want. You may not want it. You may not even be aware that this is a problem until Uranus comes along and says, you need to change this. It's a problem. It's holding you back, and I think that your soul deserves more, and you deserve more for your life. So I'm going to break this up this pattern so you can change it. And it's with Uranus, it's what you need. Okay, it's what you need, not so much of what you want, because don't we want comfort? Don't we want the same thing? But we kind of, on a soul level, need change, need things to break up in a way. So Uranus comes in like this bug and lifts it up. So any static structure that you've been in your life, including a societal structure that's top down, that's forcing you in a certain box, like get out of that box, expand that box. Like you can blow up the box and destroy the box if you want to. If you're just not fitting in the box, don't expect to put yourself in boxes that you can't fit in. Get out of it, break out of that as the limiting pattern holding you back. Then we have the Sun sextile Neptune. And what this brings about is we have a more conscious desire to create more love and oneness and empathy in our world. Neptune is the planet of empathy. And at positive aspects, we are dreamy. We are empathetic. We are creative. But more than that, we are empathetic. We want to be an ambassador for compassion, for peace, for empathy, for love, for true care in this world, in this physical world, by our physical vessels that we are living out in our lives. So, Sun sextile Neptune is about leading from a place of compassion and putting that compassion out of the world. Like there was a video, I put a new channel on my spirituality channels, and the name, my mom recommended her to me, Annie Paquette. You should see her video about, I've seen one of them, I want to see the other one, 3D to 5D. Like, when you hear a spiritual teachers tell you, um, Okay, put your antenna up. Be very, very discerning about what you're hearing. Because when you hear, oh, by this date we will all ascend, and the ones who do not do the work, the ones who are like saying the ones who are not worthy of ascension, will be left behind. And the collective is shifting us all to ascend, or in a way where it's like this pressure, like it's making you feel pressure, it's making you feel burdened to having to shift. Well, you know what she said? If you are in your own way leading with love, she didn't deny that there was a shift, because there's definitely is, and I think that in my own little way on my YouTube channel, am embodying that shift, and my having compassion for people, being their authentic selves and everything like that. But if you are being compassionate, leading from a place of love and soul, and not from ego, and if you are putting more good and love and light and helping people, and accepting them for who they are, and uplifting them or whatever, then you're already on that path. You don't have to radically just change something and move along and put the pressure on yourself to shift, because that is not a these people are human, and they do have agendas, and they do have something top down that they want to put in, um y- you know and she described it as an advertisement, like if you don't this, then you're missing out on whatever, or you must follow this, like that's not the case. So with Neptune here, it's like, um just focus on what you can do in your everyday, with your everyday, with your own life, living the days the best you can in the tough world that we are living right now, with all the stuff that's going on in the world, with being compassionate, being loving to one another, being caring, helping someone, inspiring more love by shining your authentic light, by being your authentic self with your authentic voice. That's how you can really shine very, very proudly with that. Um, uh, I don't have tick. This is live. This is live, and I'm gonna give myself a tic tac, because otherwise I can't talk when I don't have a tic tac. So I can't pause this. This is live. So if I was doing a video, I'd pause it for some reason or another. What? I'm trying to get this tic tac out. It's not coming out. Come on. Yeah. Okay. Got my tic tac. In those live streams, you have to have no expectation, because you have to eliminate the expectation of it being perfect. Like, do not restart a live stream, okay? Just one take, one take. It is meant to be one take, no more. One. So, it is not, I have become so not perfectionistic that it is literally so unnatural to me to be perfectionistic in these live streams. And the minute that I started over again, because it's not perfect, the guilt waves just flood me, because what have I done? I've sabotaged myself with perfectionism. And sometimes I do that with perfectionism, sabotage myself. I want to get out of the habit of that. But anyway, I digress. Um, okay. So in your own little way, in your own world, if you can, live more compassionately and more in a loving state, then that is really, really all that you can do in that kind of way. And the aspect that I will be discussing, that will be happening around about May 26th, around about that time, I will be doing the videos for that. So what I'm planning on doing is, I'm planning on doing, how should I do this? I'll do, I will see about doing a video on Friday, on the 22nd, the day that I have that test, because I'll get off at like around 1 to go back to the hotel that day. But if I, can't, then I won't. But it will probably be on, maybe just Um, maybe mm, uh, Jupiter and Taurus, probably. Just a very, very informal video. I mean, I won't do any video on the 22nd to the 21st to 23rd because I'll be going back and forth those days. But I'll probably do Jupiter and Taurus on my podcast, which is a really, really informal video that I can do. And then when I get back on, and that's not a guarantee, by the way. I could easily not do that video. It all depends on circumstances. So just I'm gonna make the plan, but it's not a complete guarantee. So I'm leaving it open for myself. This is something that I have to deal with. It's a health thing. I can't get around that. I have my own issues that I have revealed on my other podcast, on my Real Me podcast. But anyway, um, I'm debating whether I should go live on TikTok again because the last time I had a thing on my face, well, more than that, I got, you know, repulsive comments, and I just let's just see how it goes, and I will plan to be responding my sovereignty with those comments, and let's see how it goes. So yeah. So anyway, that's just my idea right now in my mind. Um, but anyway, um, okay, so I'll do the sun trine Pluto videos um on uh uh May 24th and 25th. Just days before it. Those videos will be later. I apologize for I actually don't because it's my life and I have, really, really important things. In fact, I do hate to say it, and every bone in my body disagree. A lot of bones in my body disagree, but honestly, to be totally objective with you, they are more important because they are, my health. So there's no getting around that. I wish I didn't have to do this, but I do. So I have no choice in the matter. But when I get done, when I come back, May 24th, 25th, I will do the Sun trine Pluto videos, and then the 26th, I will then do Saturn and Virgo, talking very, very deeply about Saturn and Virgo in the birth chart, and then continue on from there. So, yeah, and then by the end of by pretty soon, I'll have all the Jupiter videos done in my podcast that you can check out in the Cosmic Sky podcast. So that whole series is going to be done by that point. So all those videos are going to be there. And if you haven't checked out my North Node deep dives for each of the different North nodes, I go really, really deep into the from Jan Spiller's Astrology for the Soul. Wonderful, wonderful book on the nodes. Although I do have some criticisms about it, but it is a really, really great book for a reason. It's a classic dealing with the tendencies to leave behind attributes to develop, as well as more information. I go really, really deep. And so if you want to deep dive into your North Node, because there's so much to delve into with those placements, it is fascinating to delve into that. You can watch and tune in and listen to those videos on YouTube or Spotify, whatever platform you want to listen to those videos off of, because they're both on both places for you to check out. Um, so all of them are there, including the introduction video that I did. So Sun trine Pluto is basically intensity. You're basically thinking about how you're using your power, and with Sun trine Pluto, it's ideas. Like what ideas are you speaking, and how powerful you are with those ideas. It's about harnessing your power and really, really being mindful of how you use your power. And this is saying that you're going to use your power for good means. You're going to use your power for good reasons, with good intentions, with good motives. You're going to project a sense of power that I can change the world, or I can put myself out there, I can do all these things in a positive light. And that's really essentially what the Sun trine Pluto is. I'll be discussing that more when I get there, because that is a week before, that happens the week before the blue moon in Sagittarius, which I'll do Thursday, Friday, May 28th and 29th, as I've said before. So I'm just kind of giving you a basic schedule of that. Anyway, I don't want to discuss the Blue Moon Sagittarius right off now. I'll get to that in separate videos. I want to leave it to that for now. I don't want to make this too long. I just wanted to come on and do a quick live stream, a quick pop-in discussing some astrology that I just wanted to share. And anyway, until next time, bye for now. And tune in for my podcast every single day. I'm very, very reliable. They do come out. I'm very, very consistent. So tune in for that and take very, very care of the beautiful self that you are. And so will I. I will see you next time. Bye for now.